Have you ever um, really thought about what would actually happen if you woke up tomorrow morning, reached for your phone to check your email?
Mm-hmm. Usual routine.
Yeah, just like you do every single day, wiping the sleep from your eyes, and you find a notification that artificial intelligence had taken your job.
It's the absolute nightmare scenario, isn't it? It is the modern boogeyman.
It really, really is. And I'm not talking about that slow, comfortable transition we've all been promised in the think
Oh,
pieces.
yeah, the one where you've got 5 years to gracefully pivot.
Exactly. The one that lets you sleep at night. I mean, you wake up and the realization hits you like a truck. The expertise you spend, say, 2 decades building, the skills you thought were your safety net, the very reason you get paid.
They're obsolete.
Gone. Just gone.
That is a terrifying thought because it's not just about losing a paycheck. I mean, losing a paycheck is hard, sure, but most of us can recover from financial bumps. This is something deeper.
It's an identity crisis.
It's the total identity crisis. It's that sudden, jarring realization that high expertise, being the smartest person in the room, it just doesn't guarantee safety anymore. We are seeing a fundamental shift in what value even looks like in the global economy.
Exactly. And if you're listening to this thinking, oh, but I'm safe, I'm in a high-level creative role, or I'm a strategic thinker, the boss can't touch me, let me just stop you right there. Because we need to talk about what I'm calling the Sam Altman paradox.
Oh, this is such a critical example. It really helps you understand the volatility of the landscape we are all standing on right now.
Right. I mean, Sam Altman, the face of AI, the creator of ChatGPT.
A guy who is literally building the future we are all about to live in.
And what happened? He was fired from his own company overnight. Just poof.
Precisely. And the lesson there isn't really about, corporate governance or board politics or all the drama that played out in the headlines.
Yeah, there's just noise.
That's the noise. The real lesson is that even the people building the ground we walk on are standing on shaky ground themselves. If the CEO of OpenAI can be removed from the equation, even if it was just temporary, what does that say about the security of an ordinary professional, a graphic designer, a copywriter, a mid-level marketing manager?
It says nobody is safe. If the king can be toggled, the pawns don't stand a chance. It's a really sobering reality check.
It is.
But, and this is a massive but, we aren't here to just, doom scroll through the apocalypse today.
No, we're not.
We are here to fix it.
We are, because while the ground is shaking, there are definitely ways to build a foundation that moves with the quake rather than just crumbling under it.
Today we are unpacking a very specific roadmap, not just to survive this era, but to actually become wealthier, more secure, and frankly, happier within it. We are diving deep into the book Your AI Roadmap, Actions to Expand Your Career, Money, and Joy.
And this is a fascinating read. It is written by Dr. Joan Palmiter Bajorek.
And before you ask, because I know our listeners get skeptical about, AI gurus popping up every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
She isn't some armchair theorist tweeting about AI from a basement.
No, she's the real deal.
She is the real deal. She holds a PhD in the field. She's the CEO of Clarity AI. She has a history of working with absolute giants.
Yeah.
Microsoft.
But what I think makes her perspective so valuable for this deep dive isn't just her successes, it's her failures. Or maybe a better word is her setbacks.
Yeah, this is the part that got me. She has tasted the bitterness of being fired herself.
Right.
She knows what it's like to have that Sam Altman moment where the rug is just pulled out from under you.
Right.
She built this roadmap not from a place of, academic comfort, but from a place of pure survival necessity.
Which, that usually leads to the most practical advice. When you are drowning, you don't sit around and write a theory of swimming. You just figure out how to float.
Absolutely. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty of her strategy, and we are going to break down some really controversial numbers, like why you should barely spend any time learning technical skills.
Yeah, that part's a shocker.
It is. But before that, I have a quick favor to ask. If you love getting these kinds of deep dives, if you want to shortcut your way to being the smartest person in the room, you need to subscribe to the Audiobooks channel.
It is absolutely the best way to ensure you don't miss these captivating summaries of the world's best books.
We are covering the most important insights from the most important books, so hit that subscribe button right now. Do it for your future self. Okay, bitch over. Let's get into the deep dive.
Let's do it.
So, we've established the fear, the Sam Altman paradox. But the core premise of Dr. Bajorek's book starts with a hard truth, a really bitter pill to swallow. Job security is an illusion.
It is a phrase we hear often, almost like a cliche.
Right, it's easy to dismiss.
It is, but she backs it up with some pretty sobering context. She references reports from the World Economic Forum, and these reports indicate that millions of jobs are slated to disappear due to technology.
Millions.
But she makes a very, very important distinction here. It is not just about jobs disappearing, it is about displacement.
Okay, what's the distinction there? Because, I mean, to me, if I don't have a job, the job disappeared. Whether it's gone forever or just gone for me, the end result is the same. My bank account is empty.
I get that. And from the individual perspective, it feels the same. But looking at it from a macro level, it's different. Disappearing means the task is just never done by a human again.
Like the elevator operator.
The elevator operator is the classic example. We just don't need a human to push the button anymore because the machine does it automatically. That job is extinct. It's gone.
Okay, so what's displacement?
Displacement is much trickier, and it's far more common in the AI era. It means the task is still being done, but it's just not being done by you. Or, more accurately, it is done by one person using AI to do the work of 10 people.
Right. So the job itself still exists, but the headcount just shrinks dramatically.
Exactly. The illusion of security comes from this old belief that if I am good at my job, I will keep my job.
The meritocracy myth.
That relationship is broken. You can be excellent at your job, you can be the best on your team, but if an AI allows a junior employee to do your job 80% as well for 10% of the cost, well, the math just works against you.
That's terrifying. It used to be. Good worker plus a profitable company equals a job for life.
Yeah.
That was the social contract, right?
It was. And Dr. Bajorek's personal story is really the foundation of this book because she lived that broken equation. She experienced it firsthand.
And she transformed from a fired employee to, one of the most influential women in AI.
But that transition wasn't linear. It wasn't easy. It required a complete and total overhaul of how she viewed the whole concept of work.
And that's what I love about her background. You have this high-level academic knowledge of PhD, and you mix it with the gritty, ugly reality of corporate survival. It's so rare to find both in one person. Usually you get the academic theory that sounds great, but doesn't work in the real world.
Or you get the hustle culture advice that's all energy but lacks any real substance.
Exactly. She seems to bridge that gap.
She really does. And her mission with this book is very, very specific. It is not a coding manual.
Which is funny, right? Considering the title has AI right in it. You'd expect chapter 1 to be how to use Python or mastering large language models.
Right. But she argues that is a trap. That's the wrong way to think about it. The mission of the book is to provide a survival strategy.
Not a technical manual.
Not a technical manual. The shift in mindset she proposes is that you don't just need technical skills anymore. You need a roadmap for navigating a world where, as we said, the chair beneath you is always shaking. If you focus only on the chair, the specific job, the specific software tool, you go down when it breaks. But if you focus on your own balance and your ability to jump to the next thing, you survive.
Okay, let's talk about that balance. Because she drops a formula in this book that honestly made me do a double take. I read it 3 times to make sure I wasn't seeing things.
You were talking about the 81-55 rule.
The 81-55 rule, yes. This is the breakdown of where she thinks professionals should be spending their energy if they want to survive and thrive in the AI era. Let's start with the smallest number, the 5%.
The 5% is allocated to technical skills.
5%. That's it. 5. We're told constantly every single day, learn to code, master prompt engineering, learn data science. My LinkedIn feed is just a wall of people screaming at me to learn Python or I'll be homeless. And she, a PhD in AI, is saying, hey, give it 5% of your time. I don't get it.
It is completely counterintuitive, I know.
Yeah.
But follow the logic here. AI is getting exponentially better at technical execution.
Okay.
AI can code. AI can write SQL queries. AI can debug its own code. AI can even write basic copy and design simple interfaces.
So if I spend all my time learning the specific syntax of a coding language,
you are choosing to compete directly with the machine on the machine's home turf. And you will lose.
You're never going to win that fight.
You will always lose. The machine will always be faster, cheaper, and more accurate at the pure technical execution. Dr. Bajorek's rule is this. Only learn a new tool if the market specifically demands it right now.
So don't learn just in case. Learn just in time.
Exactly. Think about the half-life of a technical skill today. It's incredibly short. 10 years ago, if you learned Flash animation, you were a god. You could name your price.
Oh, absolutely.
5 years later, that skill was completely useless. Today, if you spend 6 months mastering a specific AI image generator and then Midjourney V7 comes out and changes the entire interface and workflow, that knowledge has just massively depreciated.
So technical skills are a depreciating asset.
A rapidly depreciating asset. Learning tools just for the sake of having them on a resume is not a savior anymore because the tool might be obsolete in 6 months or the AI might just be able to do it for you.
It's like learning long division by hand when the calculator has just been invented.
That is a great analogy.
Yes, it's good to understand the concept, but being the fastest long divider in the room doesn't make you valuable anymore.
Not at all. We are all trying to be human calculators in an era of supercomputers. It's a losing game.
Okay, that makes a scary amount of sense. So if I'm not drowning myself in online tutorials, what am I doing? The next number up is 15%, and this is for projects and output.
This is the critical shift from having to showing.
Unpack that for me. Because we've been taught our whole lives that having the degree is the ticket. I have a master's. I have a PMP certification. That's the key.
Traditionally, yes, we focus on credentials. I have a degree, I have a certificate, I have a job title. Dr. Bajorek argues that in the AI era, proof of capability is infinitely more important than a badge of capability.
Because anyone can fake the badge now.
Well, not just fake the badge, but fake the knowledge. I can go to ChatGPT right now and say, write a cover letter that makes me sound like a world-class expert in supply chain management, and it will do a fantastic job.
Right. You can sound smart without being smart.
Exactly. The signal-to-noise ratio of sounding smart has gone to 0. The text is cheap. The words are cheap. So the question becomes, show me what you built.
Okay.
Move away from collecting degrees. The goal is to produce visible output. A blog, a portfolio of case studies, a working prototype, a podcast, a newsletter, something that exists in the real world that demonstrates your capability to solve a problem.
It's the difference between saying I'm a funny person and just telling a joke that makes everyone in the room laugh.
That is a perfect analogy. The certificate says, I am funny. The project is the joke. In a world where AI can generate an ocean of noise, authentic human-created output stands out like a lighthouse.
But what counts as a project? I feel like people hear the word project and they think they need to go found a startup or build a complicated mobile app from scratch.
No, not at all. It can be micro. It can be something as simple as, I noticed my team was wasting 10 hours a week on these spreadsheets, so I built this little automation to fix it. Here's a 2-minute video showing how it works.
And that video is an asset.
It's a huge asset. It lives online. It works for you while you sleep. It's proof.
I see. It's about tangible evidence of value.
Yes. When a recruiter or a potential client Googles you, what do they find? Do they find your LinkedIn profile with just a job title and a list of responsibilities?
Which an AI probably wrote.
Probably. Or do they find a video of you actively solving a real-world problem? One of those people gets the interview, the other one gets lost in the pile.
Okay, so we have 5% on tools, 15% on showing our work. That leaves this massive, overwhelming 80%. And this is where the book really pivots, I think. She says 80% of your time should be spent on people and connections.
This is the core argument of the entire book, is the whole thesis, really. No matter how advanced AI gets, there is one thing it cannot do.
It can't go for a beer with you.
Exactly. It cannot create a genuine, emotional, high-trust human relationship. It cannot look you in the eye and shake your hand. It cannot understand the subtle nuances of office politics or offer genuine emotional support in the same way a human can.
But 80%, that feels huge. I mean, that feels like a full-time job on its own, especially for people who, let's be honest, might prefer the technical stuff.
Oh, for sure.
A lot of people go into tech or data or engineering specifically so they don't have to talk to people all day. This sounds like an absolute nightmare for introverts.
It is difficult. It is a massive hurdle for introverts or for people who are just very technically minded. But Dr. Bajorek is arguing that this isn't a nice-to-have skill anymore. It's a survival mechanism.
It's a survival mechanism.
Yes. The reality check she offers is that jobs are found through people, not just resumes or algorithms.
We've all heard that old saying, it's who you know, but she seems to be saying it's not just a factor. It's only who you know now.
Think about the hiring process right now. You post a job online for a desirable role. What happens?
You get 500 applicants in 24 hours.
At least. And 400 of them are probably bots applying automatically or people who are completely unqualified.
Right. So the hiring manager, who's already overworked, uses an AI resume parser to weed people out.
Exactly. The AI filters out 450 people because they missed a keyword or the formatting was a little weird. Now the hiring manager sees 15 resumes. They're still completely overwhelmed. They do not have time to read 50 resumes.
So how do they tick?
They pick the one where someone on the team walks over and says, hey, I know this person, they're smart. Or, I met this woman at a conference last month, she seemed really sharp.
The human referral.
The human referral bypasses the algorithm. The only way to get past the gatekeeper, which is now an AI, is to have a human open the side door for you.
That makes so much sense. The AI blocks the front door, so you need a human to let you in the back.
Precisely. And if you spend 95% of your time coding and 5% networking, you are standing at the front door, banging on a lock that will never open for you. You are playing the game on hard mode.
Okay, so we need to network. We have to do it. But this is where it gets really interesting for me, because she turns the standard networking advice completely on its head. She talks about the science of networking and this concept called weak ties.
This is a sociological concept that is absolutely vital for everyone to understand. It comes from research by Mark Granovetter back in the 70s.
And the standard advice is always, ask your friends for a job.
Yeah.
You get laid off, you call your 5 best friends.
Right. But Dr. Bajorek says, do not go to your close friends for a job.
Which sounds kind of rude, like, sorry, bestie, you're useless to me in my time of need.
It does sound harsh, but it's not personal, it's structural. Think about your close circle of friends, your strong ties.
Okay.
You hang out in the same places. You probably consume the same media, listen to the same podcasts. You might work in similar industries, or at least at similar levels.
You live in the same bubble, the same echo chamber.
Exactly. They possess the same information that you do. If there is a job opening that they know about, you probably already know about it too. Or they know the same people you know. There's no new information entering the system.
It's a closed loop.
A totally closed loop. So if your friends can't help, who saves us?
Strangers.
Strangers, or what sociologists call weak ties. Acquaintances. The guy you met at a conference once and connected with on LinkedIn, your neighbor's cousin who works in tech, the friend of a friend.
Why them? What makes them so special?
Because they occupy a different world. They are bridges to information silos you have zero access to.
I like that. Bridges to information silos.
A weak tie might work in an industry you've never even considered, or know a hiring manager in a city you've never visited. They have the power to change the trajectory of your life because they bridge the gap between your world and a totally different world.
That's a profound idea. So we rely on our strong ties for emotional support. They're the shoulder to cry on. But we need weak ties for structural advancement and opportunity.
That is a perfect way to put it. Like strong ties for comfort, weak ties for growth.
She has a crazy story in the book about this, right? The person who did 55 coffee chats.
Yes, this is a case study that really illustrates the grind of this 80% rule. It's not passive. It's about an individual who was looking for a career pivot. And they didn't just fire off resumes into the void.
No.
They set a goal to have 55 simple coffee chats.
55. That is so much coffee. My heart is racing just thinking about the caffeine intake.
It is a lot of caffeine and a lot of small talk, I'm not going to lie. But look at the math. They did send out 40 applications alongside this networking effort.
Okay.
But the result, the dream job they landed, it didn't come from the applications.
So what happened? How did it work?
It happened through the conversations. Through extensive chatting, navigating through these weak ties, always ending a conversation with, this was so helpful, who else do you think I should talk to?
Ah, the magic question.
It's the key that unlocks the next door. And after all that, they landed their dream job.
And the key takeaway there is that the job likely wasn't even advertised publicly.
Often they aren't, or if they are, the hiring manager is already drowning in 500 resumes. But if they have just had a coffee with someone who seemed smart, capable, and human, that person gets to skip the pile entirely.
So a simple conversation with a stranger is more valuable than spending another 3 hours perfecting your resume in isolation. That's the takeaway.
100%. One connects you to future opportunity. The other just documents your past history.
But let's be real for a second. Networking is awkward. It feels transactional. That whole, hi, can I pick your brain? Email gives people the ick.
It does. I hate that phrase.
I hate doing it. I feel like I'm using people. And I don't want to be that person.
It does feel like that. And that's because we do it wrong. We approach it like a transaction. I give you coffee, you give me job.
Yeah.
That is predatory, and people can feel it a mile away.
So what's the right way?
Dr. Bajorek and good networkers in general suggest a different approach. Lead with genuine curiosity.
Sure.
Don't ask for a job. Ask for perspective. I saw your company launched X. I'm really interested in how your team is handling the rollout. Or, I'd love to hear your story of how you got into this field. It's fascinating.
So you're not begging. You're interviewing them.
You're learning. And by asking smart, thoughtful questions, you prove that you are smart and thoughtful. You leave an impression so that when a job does come up 3 months later, they think, oh, who was that person who asked those great questions? I should reach out.
Okay, but I can hear the listeners right now. They're saying, this sounds great, but I'm busy. I have a job for now. I have kids. I have a life. How do I actually do this?
Yeah.
It's easy to say network 80% of the time, but how do you execute on that?
That is the perfect question, and that's where the book shifts from high-level strategy to ground-level tactics. She introduces the WOOP method.
WOOP, W-O-O-P. Sounds like a cheer or a mistake. Whoop, I slipped on a banana peel.
It does, but it's actually a very powerful scientific approach to goal setting. It was developed by the psychologist Gabrielle Oettingen, and it stands for Wish, Outcome, Obstacle, Plan.
Okay, let's break it down step by step, because I think a lot of people, myself included, really fail at effective goal setting. Step 1, wish.
This is the easy part, the fun part. It's defining what you actually want. For example, I wish I had a high-paying job in AI ethics. Be specific.
Okay, I made my wish. Poof. Step 2, outcome.
This is visualization, but it's not just seeing it in your mind's eye. It is about connecting emotionally to the success. What does it actually feel like to sign that offer letter? What does the relief feel like? What does it feel like to have that security? You need to internalize the reward to really motivate the brain. You have to taste it.
Got it. Feel the win. Now, step 3, obstacle.
This is the crucial step. This is the magic ingredient, and this is where most people fail.
Why? Why do we fail here?
Because our entire positive thinking culture tells us to ignore the negative. Don't manifest bad vibes. Focus only on the positive. You know the drill.
For sure. Just put it on your vision board and it'll happen.
Exactly. But the WOOP method says you must stare the obstacle directly in the face. Oettingen calls this mental contrasting.
Mental contrasting. That sounds heavy.
It is, but it's essential.
Yeah.
Research shows that if you only visualize the positive outcome, your brain actually releases dopamine as if you've already achieved it. So you relax. You lose the drive to do the hard work. You have to contrast the wonderful wish with the gritty reality of what's stopping you.
So I need to ask myself, honestly, why haven't I done this yet?
Exactly. What is the real blocker? Is it internal? I am terrified of rejection. I feel like a total imposter and that'll be found out. Or is it external? I lack a specific certification that's always listed on job descriptions. I don't know a single person in that city. You have to name the demon to fight the demon.
That's powerful, naming the demon.
Because once you've named it, you're not afraid of it anymore. And you can move to step 4, plan.
The P in WOOP.
The plan is creating an if-then scenario. This is basically pre-programming for your brain to handle future challenges.
Give me an example.
If I feel too tired and unmotivated to network after work, then I will send just one LinkedIn voice note instead of trying to write a full email. Or, if I get rejected from a job I really wanted, then I will immediately schedule 2 coffee chats to regain momentum and not wallow in it.
I love that. It takes the decision-making out of the moment of stress. You've already decided how you'll react when things get hard.
Exactly. It moves the goal from a passive daydream into an active strategy. It prepares your brain for the inevitable friction of the real world, because there will be friction, there will be rejection.
Speaking of friction and things not going to plan,
Yeah.
let's talk about the lily pad metaphor she uses. This one really stuck with me visually.
It's a great image, isn't it? She describes the current job, your 9 to 5, as a lily pad floating on water.
It looks green, it looks solid, you're sitting on it feeling safe.
But it is floating, it's rootless. The water, which is the market, can get choppy. The lily pad can drift away. Or, more likely in this economy, it can just sink right out from under you with no warning.
So if you are a frog sitting on one lily pad and it sinks, you drown.
You drown. It looks safe, but it is inherently unstable.
So if we shouldn't be frogs on a lily pad, what should we be?
She suggests that a career should be like a rainbow.
A rainbow. Okay, that sounds a bit magical. A little too Care Bears and unicorns for a serious career strategy.
I know. Bear with the metaphor. A rainbow is composed of multiple bands, right? Multiple colors, all existing at once.
Okay, yeah.
Each band represents a separate stream of income or a stream of value.
Ah, diversification. So it's not so Care Bears after all.
Precisely. If one band fades, if you lose that one client or that one part-time gig or even your main job, the rainbow still exists. The other bands keep you afloat.
So don't put all your eggs in one basket. It's classic advice.
It's classic advice, but she takes it to an extreme. Dr. Bajorek herself has built 22 different sources of income.
22? Are you serious? I struggle to manage one source of income and maybe a side hustle. How does someone have 22? Is she working 24 hours a day?
It sounds completely overwhelming, I know. But you have to think of them as micro streams. It is not 22 full-time jobs. It is about shifting your mindset to what she calls the business of one.
The business of one.
Yes. Think about it. If a business had only one client, and that client provided 100% of their revenue, what would investors say?
They would run for the hills.
Right.
It'd say it's a high-risk, fragile business model.
Because if that one client leaves, the business is dead instantly.
Right.
Yet we do this with our lives every day. We have one employer, one source of income, and we call it security. Dr. Bajorek argues that is actually the most dangerous and fragile position to be in.
So how do we build the rainbow without completely burning out?
You repurpose your expertise. This is the key. If you are an expert in, say, supply chain management, your salary is stream 1. You could also guest lecture at a local college, stream 2. You could write a short ebook on a niche topic in your field, stream 3. You could consult for a small startup on the weekends, stream 4. You could host a paid workshop, stream 5. It is the same core knowledge, just packaged and monetized in different ways.
That is a critical distinction. You don't need to go out and become a plumber, a coder, a writer, and a dog walker. You can be one thing, but monetize that one thing through multiple channels.
And this is where AI comes back in, but as a helper, AI reduces the friction of creating those other streams. You can use AI to help you outline the course, draft the blog post, organize your consulting notes. AI gives you the leverage to operate like a much bigger business.
Man, that hits hard. We're basically talking about evolving from an employee to an enterprise.
That's it. You are the CEO of You, Inc.
Okay, so we need to diversify, we need to network, we need a plan, but there's one more asset she talks about, the one she calls the unfireable asset.
Yes. What is the one thing a manager, a company, a layoff can never take away from you?
My charm? My good looks.
Besides that, hopefully, but specifically, your name and your reputation, your personal brand.
I feel like personal brand has become such a dirty word. People immediately think of influencers taking selfies on a yacht or gurus selling crypto scams.
We need to reclaim that term. In this context, it's not about being an influencer. It's about insurance.
Insurance.
In the era of mass layoffs, a LinkedIn profile is not a social media flex. It is a survival tool. It is your showcase of expertise. It's your digital storefront.
So how do we treat LinkedIn as a survival tool? What's the tactical advice there?
First, look at the absolute basics. Do you have a professional banner that isn't just the default blue background? Does your headline explain the value you provide, or is it just your job title?
So not senior manager at TechCorp, but something like helping SaaS companies scale revenue through AI integration.
Exactly. One is a label, the other is a value proposition. One tells me where you sit, the other tells me how you can help me. Then she emphasizes weekly content creation.
Weekly. That feels like a lot for some people who just want to do their job and go home.
It doesn't have to be a 2,000-word masterpiece. It can be curating an interesting article and adding 2 sentences of your own commentary. It can be sharing a thought on a new trend. It can be highlighting a project. Remember that 15% of your time. Post about it. The goal is to move beyond just listing your job titles to actively showing your value in public.
And this ties back to the AI thing, right? The whole human versus machine idea.
Completely. The goal of your brand is to appear human. If your profile looks like a resume parser wrote it, just a list of buzzwords and generic corporate phrases, you look replaceable. You look like a machine.
And machines are cheap.
Exactly. People need to know who you are. What do you stand for? What is your voice? What are you curious about? Why should they trust you specifically over a dozen other people with the same skills? Trust is the currency that AI cannot print.
Trust is the currency that AI cannot print. I love that. It really sums up the entire philosophy of this book, doesn't it?
It does. If I trust you, I will hire you, even if the AI is technically cheaper. Because I know you'll handle the edge cases. I know you'll care. I know you're not just executing a prompt.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive, let's just bring it all back to the center. The core philosophy of your AI roadmap is actually pretty ironic when you think about it.
It is deeply ironic. The book essentially says, to survive the most technological era in human history, you don't need to be more technological.
You need to be more human.
Exactly. You don't need to outcode the robot. You need to out-human the robot.
You need to lean into the things the robot cannot do. Empathy.
Yeah.
Connection. Storytelling. building trust, complex navigation of social structures.
These soft skills are rapidly becoming the hard currency of the future.
So if you're listening to this and you're feeling overwhelmed, just take a breath. You don't need to go enroll in a data science boot camp tonight.
Please don't, unless you really genuinely want to.
But you do need to take action, and Dr. Bajorek gives us a very clear, immediate action plan. It involves an Excel sheet.
It is the don't just listen, do part of our deep dive. We challenge you. Open an Excel sheet or a Google sheet right now, or even just a piece of paper.
And do what with it?
List 50 people you want to have a conversation with, or 50 companies you dream of working with.
50 sounds like a lot.
It is meant to stretch you. It forces you to look beyond your strong ties, your best friends, and start identifying those crucial weak ties. Who is the person doing the job you want 5 years from now? Who is the manager at that company you admire? Put their name down on the list.
And then?
Then you start the WOOP process for just one of them. What is the wish? To talk to them. What is the outcome? Gaining new insight. What is the obstacle? Fear of bothering them. What is the plan? If I feel scared to send the email, then I will draft it and wait only 5 minutes before hitting send. And then you do it.
This simple list is the first step of the roadmap. It's the first brushstroke of your rainbow.
It is taking control back from the algorithm and putting it back in your hands.
I love it. Before we go, I want to leave you with a final thought. Something to keep you up at night, but in a good way, a motivating way.
We talked about the Sam Altman paradox. We talked about the illusion of security.
So here is the question for you to really sit with. If your current primary income source vanished tomorrow morning, poof, gone. Exactly how many people outside of your close friend group know enough about your value to offer you a new opportunity by the afternoon?
That is the metric that matters now.
If the answer is 0 or 1 or 2,
Yeah.
you have work to do. But the good news, you have the roadmap now.
Absolutely.
Thanks for diving deep with us. Don't forget to subscribe to Audible Books for more survival guides to the modern world. We'll see you in the next deep dive.
Stay human, everyone.
See ya.